remind them.
Because of what they are doing here, they didn't check what they are doing.
You don't know this thing here, almost 10 years more than. Like, take every video. That's why we don't remind them of chief. We did our later. Later will be around. Yeah.
Metitinya mbidi ahe, metiti ahe mbidi eko, metiti eko jasimajen ahobi mbidi eko. Etima was saying. Olùbẹ́ ẹni àgbálẹ̀ kòkòrò ó wọ̀ ọ̀gá mọ́tò ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ bí trump àgbálẹ̀ kòkòrò yẹn sì lẹ́kì dé ndàmẹ́ àgbálẹ̀ kòkòrò ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀bẹ náà wọ́n yọ̀ pọ̀ ní pẹ̀lú ìjìnlẹ̀ abúláméjì àtàláméjì gbígbáméjì sáméjì káméjì túpè méjì túláméjì lẹ́sẹ̀ méjì iṣẹ́ méjì fún méjì pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ túlámẹ̀yọ pẹ̀lú bí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mọ́tò lọ́ba ní ẹ̀kẹ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀jẹ̀mẹ̀tẹ̀mẹ̀ àdásí mẹ́lẹ́ kúrò láti ẹ̀yẹ́ ní tẹ́tẹ́ sí àtúpẹ̀ sáméjì àti ẹ̀yẹ́ ní tẹ́tẹ́ sí àtúpẹ̀. I'm in a follow. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow. See how I'm going clockwise? Because clockwise is for things to bind you. Anti-clockwise is to unwind things around you. Oh. You are lucky. All the 4 of the calories are up, which means the doors are open. Wow. It doesn't happen like this for a very long time. That all the 4 will go up. Wow. Oh, good for you. You have good heart. Hello. Hello. Our fans out there, Revolution Facebook Live and question and answer session. Please, good afternoon to all of you, and good morning to you, good evening to you, wherever you are. We are actually running behind time a little bit because we were busy with some other things. We were thinking that we could finish quickly and come live. So that's why the video playing has taken so long. But now we are live, and I'm saying hello to you all, wherever you may find yourself in this hour. Thank you very much for joining us this great afternoon. And I will pray, and then after the prayer, I will start to read the greetings and as well as answer your questions. Thank you very much. We have had a very, very, very hard week this week. Some people, when they are busy, that's when they come. So we are. Let me just pour libation and then we take it from here. It's been a very interesting and hectic week for some time now, but we asked for it and it's coming to us. We cannot complain. We've been very, very busy, but that's what we want. That's what we pray for. The work should come so that we can work, and it is happening. Thank you very much, everybody. And of course, I am your Bokor, your host, Christopher Voncujovi, this afternoon. If you are too far away, we have to do it there. No, don't put it in that, and put it on the left side. So Rashid, those are the items. Yes, Melalaiba. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. We are here now, so I will start. We are also doing a reading alongside today's program, but we will not show that one right now. Or okay, I'll turn the camera briefly. Yes, sure. So how much do you?
Just answer. Come down some more.
If 3,000 is too much for you give your standard.
Okay, so we are doing a reading as well. So okay, now thank you very much. I'll go on and then pour a libation. Oh, my, you are kind, but you're kind, you're kind, you're kind, so what kind of kind, you're kind, you're kind, very bad. Remember, I had a door from one day, so we can do the Zago, you're going to be a few your pattern, your for coming for a mention for a video for you. Google quite for performance, the video, the fire of one to and the part of the key, the better of the key of the way have to go back and use the pattern of the pattern. That's wrong with that. I found the lead in the pattern for my door. The pattern, the way of the boy, you can talk with it, but this is good. Ogbojúkúrò lọ́jà ló kọ́ mi balẹ̀ tí bá fáwọn ìfẹ́ alójó àkófò àgọ́sápàdé ẹ̀yọ́ àti ìdílé mi lọ́wọ́ ìlú mi rẹ̀ àlàáfíà ó bọ́ká kó gàtí lọ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀yọ́ tọ́gbẹ́ni màmá ni o bẹ tẹ́tẹ́ mi yẹn tọ́gbẹ́ni ìjẹ́bẹ́ pàpà sísẹ́ ẹ̀yọ́ ara tẹ́tẹ́ mi yọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀yọ́ mi yọ gbọ̀ngbọ̀n tí mi yọ gbẹ̀ fọ́lí bó kọ́ mọ́ ẹ̀fẹ́ mi gbọdọ̀ kú tí kú mọ́ kọ̀ọ̀nà tọ́gbẹ́ni gbà wá mais toi, parce que pourquoi couper un an, parce qu'on faut qu'on gagne. T'as signé un peu aussi. J'ai un peu ça, après qu'on a mis maman une bonne idée, mais t'as bien beaucoup coffee, à couper un peu ça, devrait être un peu plus non meilleur. Mais il faut une Célestine, il y a couper Catherine, à couper, il faut une c'est quoi d'autre. Faut il y a ben à couper un meilleur, il a fait. Et un meilleur, bien sûr, un homme, tu as tout bien couper. S'il y a ben et quatre merci. Écoute, on me fait un beaucoup beaucoup, il y en a beaucoup de me faire un peu. Le meilleur, ou dans tout dit, quand tu dis, tu dis meilleur, qui nous a ce qu'on dit, la soupe à la bonne meilleur. Mais il y a beaucoup à Netflix, sauf un moment et meilleur. Bokor afa chawa jobe me kuto me ne fana ni bubu me na bubu me fana ni kundi bi kule vinyo ni no e meyo oponye selesi ya wakuba ya Katrina kubia meyo nyo keke ya tepe e meyo Bokor huno le bapo huno le avega meyo nyo pete yo tobe anani tretu le jita yo tobe Abraham jivenu le chani ekuto me ne fana ni bubu me na bubu me fana blo nyatepe nya wenye ngogbe masiku abro da wanda o sese mago khasese ko nchija be yo mi onda egbe bro khomoro nyatepe egbe kana me aloreka o ko alofe be yo mi apete yo to be an bato ba fodu to ba mo ibu me esa pasa ni ku ko to ko shino ko to o kere ku me yo nyatepe ye me to be yo aboti sakara kama cho ba be adobo ko to ko liro un po ku ma ku abere mbere to ba non lecho francamente film singra ko fito njapa ku to ko fito me ku via tra cable me yo mi apete e me yo to tagwa lo me cho ya che he mi agbe me yo mi la ka nyatepe nya wele ye mi le holu pe to apo he apo hanani dagbero o bugate mi na dagbero ne ba me gba anu na me petele mi apo re mi na me sese ne ba na agbe ne ba na ngbo yi ne ba na oklo view me lo so no poso me de so mo po vi ni no po vi no ji ame yo le dole no fo me yo ba na se wa na me se no wo do no patane me yo ji view me ta ko no patane o view pete gudu agbo mo na pu na me yo pete bu na ile mi apo ko sa ile mi agere ko sa ile nkeke ni ko sa ni na asimedi na to le va do nje do jina pe ma won ne no ngbo na me se apo mi awele mi le to do abo so je na yo mi fefe se. Okay, now we are done with the prayers, the simple libation, and I'm going to take your greetings now. We are coming from Olufemi George. Say, greetings, Papa. Thank you for enlightenment always. Thank you very much, Olufemi, for joining us this afternoon. We have a Prosper Jobede saying, welcome, Papa. I hope those police will behave now from Bokor. Okay, the police at Hokwe, actually, it is not the fault of the police. It is the fault of some sub-chiefs who are looking at me as an enemy, in the sense that they too, they believe in themselves that they have spiritual power. But when I come around, a lot of people talk about me, and that is creating some kind of jealousy and this is so they want to find a way to put me down. That's why they started. It's not the police. The police have not done anything bad. They were only sent on an errand, and since they are the peace officers, it is their duty to come and search the house as it was in Hawaii. The videos we show you last time. So it's not the fault of the police. Police did not just come to my house. It was certain people who were directing and then trying to put a false allegation, false alarm, in order for people to disturb me. That's why. Thank you very much, Prosper. Then we have Joe N. Black. Good afternoon, Papa. I hope all is well you and your family. Yes, Joe, all is well with me and it's all well with my family. And how are you and your family? Wishing you a very great week. Thank you very much. Then we have Shamba Musa Muhammad. Greetings, Papa. Greetings, Shamba. How are you? I was talking with Erica. I was chatting with Erica this morning, and she sent the corpse of the husband yesterday night, I think. So things are moving in the right direction. So we'll be talking after I'm done with the Facebook. Then we have Ifa Dara, grand blessing, big sister Ifa Dara. Thank you very much for joining us. My money. No.
I'll call you. Papa, I'll call you. I have to come and do some one or two things, so I'll call you.
Okay, thank you, Rashid.
Right.
Okay, I give my greetings to everybody.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, Shamba, thank you. And then we have Big Sister Ifadara, grand blessing. Thank you, Big Sister Ifadara. Grand blessings to you. And then it's a Papa and family. Thank you, Big Sister. We are very grateful for you joining us this afternoon. I think, is that the last one? We have a for Martin Kobler. Good afternoon, my dear brother. There is a lot of background noise with talking. Yes, it is true. We were having a reading also before the program, so we are done now, and everybody, the people have started going back. So that's why, but now it's okay now. Then we have J. Boki. Many blessings to you and your family, my brother. I hope I can come visit you soon. Jay, we are here. Anytime that you want to visit us, we are at the shrine. Just give me a call and then we'll be ready for you. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Okay, please send in your questions now so that we can start answering. Since I am already behind time, please send in your questions. Then we have Mario Young. Good evening, Daddy, and AMT family. Greetings from India. Thank you very much, Mario. Last time I saw your missed call, but I was quite busy. So and there was one call also came at dawn. I was deep sleeping, so I couldn't get back to you. But somehow we will be talking after the Facebook Live. Thank you very much, Mario. And then we have Jay Otis. Good day and many blessings to you and your family. Thank you very much, Jay. And I'm very grateful for you joining us. And then we have SB. Greetings, AMT family. Thank you very much, SB. We are very grateful for you joining us, and greetings to all of you too. Please send in your questions so that I can answer. Today is also another very busy day for me. We will be having about an hour or and a half or to 2 hours of section today, because I have someone who is seriously sick and I have to go and attend to the person in his house. So please bring in your questions so that I can answer them quickly, and then we go. Yes, Shamba is saying that, Papa, the work is really coming now. Yes, of course, Shamba, you have your labor, you have your action. The work has to come. That's how it's supposed to be. And everything, you start slowly, and then you will get there. Definitely. You will not be disappointed. I thank God that the gods are listening to you. Thank you very much for the information. Yes. Kofi, is that all? Okay, please, I am waiting now. We have 9 comments only, and people who have joined us, please join us and with your questions, and let me answer some. So don't just be watching. Send me questions, something that you don't understand, and let me comment on them for you. Coffee video Just imagine, a hobby. Apale kokoro o wo kakra me moto egbere mi chon apale kokoro yin se beki dem na me adapale kokoro e ko me na me yo poli to mi chi abla meji guda meji sameji kameji tupe meji tura meji lete meji che meji fu meji bali che tura me yo prebo vire ko mo to ba do ni e ke be de me te na si me ne kulo ja chi ene ni fe se tu pe sa be ja chi ene ni fe se not weak. Change my destiny for me so that it will not be weak. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo senye popolipo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo senye katafialo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo senye popolipo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo senye popolipo. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo senye tatafiae. Midoli senyenam nemega bojo. Hallelujah. 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 Metitinya mbidi ahe. Metiti ahe mbidi eko. Metiti eko. Jasimajen ahobi mbidi eko. Otima was saying. We are giving something to a sin. The best way is like this. Watch me. I want you people to know. I said, you have taken the female. This is the meal that I am going to give you, so accept it for me. I said, accept it for me. I said, accept this meal chicken for me. I said, so you do it 7 times.
I said, this is the male chicken. You have taken the female chicken. This is the male chicken that was brought for you. So, I said, accept this. Accept this chicken.
Yes.
I said, I want you to accept this chicken.
Speak loud.
Accept this chicken. I will make God for you from me. Something that I've brought you to take for everything you have done.
You can't yeah. Then I was
accept this chicken.
okay. Now you Okay, we are back here now. Where we've been trying to play some videos of our recent activities at the shrine for you. Where just about Senna and Pele when they were feeding their set the other day before Pele left yesterday back to Japan. And we are now back live here. We have Van Perry saying, "Hello, Papa. The herbs you showed 2 Sundays ago at the beach, can those be used if they are in dry form?" Yes, it does not matter, Van. You can use the herbs if they are in dry form or when they are fresh. So it is okay. The herb doesn't lose its power because it's dry or it's not dry, so long as your hands can get onto it. Most of the time, even before you put herbs into voodoo, the best is to let the heads get dry a little bit before you put them inside. You know, the wet one can be used, but the best is when it is dry. Okay. Thank you very much, Vampire. Thank you. Then we have a big brother called Stone here. Bokor, can you tell us about why it is important to be upright when one is following the African spirituality path? Okay, big brother called Stone here. You are referring to people to be very morally upright. Yeah, because you see, spirituality is different from religion. And religion, I'm not talking about Christianity and Islam alone. All religion, Buddhism, Jainism, Zen, just call them. Religion is mostly hypocrisy. And people brought up from religious backgrounds don't see it as hypocrisy because that is the way how things are done. When you see the truth, you have to bend it to suit you and the people who are associated with you. And that's how it's been, and that's what is the way it has always been. And then the people at the hierarchy of the religious sector or sect are the people who they can even flout the rules, but no one can ask them anything because they are the ones who are answerable to God. And who knows where God is, whereby these people who are the higher hierarchy are answerable to God. Which God? And there is no way you can ask God, is it true that these people are answerable to you? Whereby God will say yes or no. So as I have always been saying, religion is man-made. It has nothing to do with God. It's God, man who created God inside religion. So religious people are full of hypocrisy. But spirituality, or being on the spiritual path, is one-on-one with your God. There is no intermediary between yourself and your God. So if you tell lie to somebody, you know you are telling lies, so your God knows already. So why tell lie? It is already recorded. So whatever you would do, you must try to be straightforward with your life. You must try to be upright in your life so that the God that you are dealing with, which is your inner self, because there is no God in the sky that you are going to be answerable to. You are answerable to yourself. And that's why you must be straightforward or upright in your dealings with other people and your dealings with the world, because there is no sky God. That God is within you. So when you do bad thing, you know. When you do good thing too, you know. Whether you go in front of people and pretend that you are a good person, but within you, you know you are a bad person. Or you go to the pulpit and pretend to people that everything you do is upright. Meanwhile, you know what you did in your secrecy. God knows already. So you are answerable to yourself. That's why it is important to be upright in your dealing when you are on part of spirituality. But if you choose to be on the path of religion, where everything is a make-believe and it's a man-made thing, where things change according to different leaders or different groups within the religious sect. Some time ago, some religions do not accept LGBTQ people. But then now some are accepting it. So is it God who is accepting, or is the human beings who is accepting? Sometime back in Saudi Arabia, women could not drive cars, and in some Arab countries, women could not drive cars. But today, women can start driving cars. So is it God who prevented the people from driving the cars those days? And since when did God say no? Now people are mature, they can drive cars. This is where I am trying to say that religion is a man-made thing. But the spirituality which follows the laws of nature, naturally, from the time God created this world, most animals use their mouth to eat.
at least maybe 90% of animals use their mouth to eat. It has not changed for these millions of years. And nobody is pushing food through people's nose to eat. Unless, of course, when you are sick and they put the tube into your nose and it comes with your stomach. That is it, because your mouth is no more opening. Your mouth cannot be opening. You can chew and eat things that you'll be putting through your nose. That is the law of nature. That as it has been in the beginning, so it is until today. And it is not changed. So spirituality follows the path of nature or natural laws, not man-made laws whereby when the leader changes or the group of leadership changes, then the laws change according to them. So religion is more like a man-made thing. It has nothing to do with God, but then God is the one everybody places there, because you can never question God, because there's nothing you can see before you are even going to question it. So the religious people are very smart to put God there, so that at the end of the day, you cannot ask anybody. There is spirituality. You ask yourself and you are answerable to yourself. And if you go wrong, it affects you. And you know that it is you who has gone wrong. It is you. You know. Because when you do good thing, you know. If you do bad thing, you know. So it is not any God who has to come and judge you whether you are doing bad thing. You yourself, you know that you are doing bad thing.
Yes.
And if you know it's a bad thing, then you are already recording your own things.
You have the consciousness.
Your consciousness and your conscience inside is recording everything. So it is not that you are waiting to die before God will come and call you in judgment. You go and lie down. When you say yesterday you stole your brother's fish.
When you do good thing, you enjoy it yourself within you.
Yes, so that is all that you know.
Before you do the bad, you turn around and look left and right.
So
because you have the conscience.
So that point is there. People who everybody knows what is good and everybody knows what is bad. So it's on the path of spirituality. It is you and your God. There is no intermediary. So you have to do the right thing. You must be upright in everything you do. So that whatever you do, you will be responsible and take responsibility for your own actions. Whereas in a religious setup, you always blame an unseen spirit called the devil, who takes all the blame for everything that you have done. And people have been beating this devil for ages now. People have been cursing it. People have been shooting it down. And the devil refused to die. So if God that people mention is there and is so powerful, why can't God just remove the devil from there and then everybody will be free? So you realize that religion is a man-made thing. That devil too was created by, just like God was created by a human being, so was also the devil created by a human being, so that people don't take responsibility for their own actions. So they always have something to blame that it is because of this that happened. Meanwhile, you are the one who is doing the action. So when you are on the spiritual path, you must be straight and upright. This is the reason. So that you don't acquire any reactions to the actions that you do. Because you think first before taking the action. And once you take that action, you should also be ready for the reaction or the consequences. If it is good, it comes back to you. If it is bad, it comes back to you. So you must first think about it very well. If you are ready to accept the reaction, then when you take the action, don't blame the devil, don't blame anybody that it is because of this. No, you should be fully responsible. That is why it is a very serious topic. It's a very serious thing. If you decide to be on the path of spirituality, you have to be upright. No two ways about it. But if you also decide that you are on the spiritual path, but you want to take an action, you should also have that in mind, that when the reaction comes, you should be ready to accept the reaction. The law of karma doesn't favor anybody. It is just a straight sword, a blind justice. You know, in most forms, even when you go into the tarot card, you go into our courthouses, legal establishments. They put justice, if it really exists or existed. They blindfolded a woman who is holding a sword and a scale in the hand. It's not seeing anybody. When he holds a scale and whichever weighs higher, the duty is to deliver judgment without fear and favor. That's why. But in our modern day judgment and courts, I don't think that blindfolding is there anymore. That's why a lot of people are religious, because when you are religious, you can go behind and pay the people who will take decision on your wrongdoing to favor you. And they will favor you. But the law of nature is there. It's going to be straight, and it's going to judge whether you've been acquitted after doing a wrong or whatever it is. The law of nature is not going to look into anything. Human judges would look into it and then favor who they want to favor. But the law of nature will deliver its judgment. But you should be responsible, take responsibility for your actions, and don't blame any devil, because there's no devil nowhere. You are your own gods and you are your own devils. Yes, so Big Brother Echo, that's my take on your question. Thank you very much. And then we have J. Boki again, my brother. I wanted to know what is your main ancestor tree in your tradition. Can you please tell me the name, and will it be possible to buy a small one from you and send it to the US where I am located? Okay, J. Boki. The truth is that everybody's ancestral line is different. My ancestral line is not the same like your ancestral line. So there is nothing to buy from me and take to anybody. There is my ancestral line came from my great-grandfather. And my great-grandfather, I don't think was your great-grandfather. So your own ancestral tree is totally different from my ancestral tree. There is no one single ancestral tree in our tradition. Like me, from the clan that I came from in the village, I come from a town called Hohoi in the Volta region of Ghana. And in Hohoi too, we have we have about 10 different villages. 9, to say about 9 different stools or family ancestral stools where royalty, they are royals. So each, and within these ancestral royal groups also, there are also families, different families, and each one tracing their root to an ancestor. So like my ancestors at Bokor, they trace their root to one old man called Tobe Geji. So that's the line that I know, that those are the ancestral roots of my family. So my ancestral traditions or ancestral tree comes from that Tobe Geji. Like what it might have extended backwards, but I don't know how far it has gone, and I'm not interested in knowing how far it has gone until, of course, if somebody comes one day and tells me that this, that, then I will accept it if I think it is logical and reasonable. But I'm not very worried about how far I have known. So long as I can know it from my great-grandfather, the one who gave birth to my grandfather, that is Tommy Geje. So I'm from the Geje clan. And we have our own ancestral stool which we follow. So my ancestral tree in my tradition cannot be the same like your ancestral tree, whereby I will prepare something for you and you take away and then bring it to the US. No. You must trace your ancestral tree to your immediate grandfather that you are aware of. And that is enough. And that is where you start from. And if you want to build it up and you want to let your children to know how to continue it after you are no more here, then you know. But my ancestral tradition or my ancestral tree does not have the same roots with you, because we are called the Geje children. And I don't think you as J. Boki has fallen into that Geje children. So my ancestral tree has nothing to do with you. Unless, of course, if you are falling into that Geje family, then you can call me and I'll tell you where we started from, or where the place which I knew the ancestral tree or the tradition from. Thank you very much, J. Boki. And also, I want to say that a lot of time people get this confusion that ancestors are just anybody who died. Yes, it is true that ancestors are just anybody who died, but it is not anybody who just died and is not on your line. Your ancestors are people who share the same DNA with you. They are the ones that we call ancestors, and each ancestor must have a name. There was this Canada and said she wanted to go to the castle where people were their last gate before they went onto the slave ship, that she wanted to pray to her ancestors. I said, yes, it is very true, but what is the name of your ancestors that you can remember? Even if it has gone 400 or 500 years backwards, the immediate one that you can know and call, she didn't know anybody. And she just said, oh, I'll just go and say my ancestors. There's nobody called my ancestors. Your ancestors have names. And those names are the ones that can connect you. You cannot just pour a libation and say, oh, my ancestors, come and drink. Who is your ancestor? Your ancestor had a name. And it is from that DNA you are. So you must at least find the immediate one that you can come across, so you can start from there. Thank you very much, JBK. And then we have a formatting cobbler here. Until someone can afford to do their essay, what prayer advice can you kindly give so the person can be better established to enable the person to be ready to perform their essay ceremony? Formatting. See, the problem of essay is that pray to your ancestors. Essay is not something that you can be praying to when you don't have it. If it is not made for you, there's no way you can pray to it. You can just say, oh, I pray to my destiny. You can say those things. But for it to really work with you, establish with you, you need to set it up. We all know that we all have destiny. So when you say, you can say, oh, my destiny, I pray to you. Fine, that is it. But for you, for your destiny really to really work with you, you need to establish it. So if I tell you that these are the prayers that you can be saying, we have so many essay songs in Ewe, all those things. They are all songs of sorrow, that they are people's destinies have not really treated them well in this life. So until you are able to connect with your destiny through removal of the negative and then setting up the positive, for sure your destiny will be playing games with you. And if it is unfortunately on the negative side more, then you are in trouble. So I don't have anything to tell you that you should be doing this to your essay acting, because you don't have the essay. So how can you be doing it to it? You need to have essay before you pray to essay. Even though you have essay, you're born with your essay, it is until it is set up properly or given to you in your Ifa or Afa initiation, you cannot really know what to do than to complain that, oh, things are not going on well with you. When you try this, it doesn't work. When you try and you are reaching here, this it doesn't work. Or okay, sometimes things work for you. That is all that will be happening. But for you to be able to really do work with essay, you need to have the essay removed, the negative one removed, and the positive one set up. But you can be praying to other entities that are around you that you know their names, like Tobe Jopata, Akai, and Awudi, and all those. So you can be praying to them and telling them that they should strengthen your essay for you. But your essay can only be prayed to directly or called upon directly when you have the essay set up. I don't know from other teachers, but how I was taught is what I am teaching. I don't know how other people help you to be able to be connected to your destiny if they don't do any destiny rituals for you. So that's how far I know. And I'm sorry, but that's what I know. That's what I'm teaching. And then we have Oluchi Osunwoke, a big sister, great day, Papa, with the peace and love. Happy to see you again. Please move the issue. Happy to see you here. Thank you very much, Oluchi. We are very grateful to you for joining us this afternoon. Then we have Pierre Pilasse. Greetings, Papa. Hope all is well. Glad to be here another live again. Thank you very much, Pierre. We are also very glad to see you come on our live program. Thank you very much, and may the ancestors continue blessing all of you. And then I have Van Perry again. Hello, Papa. During the short break, the video showed Perry touching a chicken or a cock to the several times. Can you please explain? Is that a way to greet the essay? When we are going to feed essay, what we do is that we present the animal that we are going to feed the essay with. That is, in this case, the chicken. So you present it to the essay 7 times. That essay, this is your animal. Essay, this is your animal. Essay, this is your animal for 7 times. Mind you, in every vodu, or when a set is being set up for you, a set, we don't use knife to kill the chicken for the essay. We let the essay itself accept the chicken, and of course we'll kill the chicken by itself through a process that we call a chepopo. We don't use knife. So before you start the chepopo process, you show the animal to the essay and ask the essay to accept it for you quickly. So this is what you saw happen, and that only is taught to you when you are already initiated into essay. It is during the initiation all these things are taught. Thank you. Then Kadi Fisher is saying, greetings, Papa and AMT family. Thank you very much, Kadi. How are you? I realize we are celebrating the birthday of one of your nieces and this is, so my greetings to all of you. Or is it your sister? I don't know, but I saw the on this page and I saw on your page too. My greetings to them all and happy birthday to the celebrant, the happy day person. Thank you very much. And then we have a big sister, Ifada. Papa, is it possible to learn one's birth ancestral name before they were captured and sold into slavery in the US from African records? I am not very sure whether you can know your ancestral's name in any record in Africa, but there is a possibility that if you have your DNA traced to a particular part of Africa or any part of the world, maybe through that DNA line there will be certain names that probably may come out, and any of those names could be your ancestors. But what people have been doing, that people come from the diaspora and then they come and do a reading for them or do something and then they tell them, oh, you are from this family, all those things, I don't believe in it. Those are all just fake kind of thing. But a lot of people believe it, that of course people are trying to put an end to their search for their roots. So when it comes to that point, people just accept it and take it and continue. I think on this program, one lady one time told me that she has traveled to some place and she was made a queen mother. And then I said, oh, queen mother, what is your relationship with the place where they made you a queen mother? So her ancestors came from this place and that's why she was made a queen mother. So okay, then that's great. How are you able to know? So they told her when she went there, they told her that her ancestors came here from here and she was made a queen mother. And then she was asking me a question that when she was made a queen mother, should she do this, she should do that. I said, no, but the people who made you a queen mother should be able to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. It's not me who will sit here, because I don't even know the people who made you a queen mother and which part of Africa you have been made a queen mother at. So how can I be the one who will now advise you what you should do, what you shouldn't do? Meanwhile, the people who made you a queen were with you and they told you that you are from this land. So they should be able to tell you the rules and the taboos of their culture and be able to guide you. I cannot sit far away just because I do voodoo or I teach about a tradition. I should not be able to tell you what. But a lot of people go and say, oh, they told them, oh, you come from this family, you come from. But your DNA should be able to give you a direction. But I also know that after 500 years, the DNA stops there. You can't even see beyond that 500 years, or I think so. I think I read somewhere that you cannot see beyond certain lines. So you take it from wherever you can start from. Don't bother about going to the very beginning of your. Because me by that, and the question you answer, let me move forward. Yeah. So you can start from somewhere. That's why when we feed the ancestors, we feed them with all kind of drinks. Because the whole of Africa, we have different drinks, and even in Ghana, we have different drinks from the north, from the south, from the Eveland, from the Akan, from the central, from the Fanti, and all this. So when we are feeding people, these are the drinks that our people in our country, Ghana, takes. So for that reason, we give all the kind of drink, because we don't know where our ancestors came from. We don't know all the roots of our ancestors. It is only those that were introduced to us or shown to us are the ones that we know. So for that reason, we say the known and the unknown. We are feeding the known and the unknown in order to pacify those whose name we don't know, those whose faces we don't remember. But then when we call, the closest that we can call is the person who is closer to us. Maybe our grandfather or our great-grandfather, our grandmother or our great-grandmother. At least those ones we know, or we can trace those to our fathers or our mothers, maternal and paternal side. So we just call those ones and then they can send it to the ancestral world. We are not there, we are here, physical world. So why do we bother ourselves too much to know up to the beginning? You don't need that much. And that doesn't mean the ancestors will not listen to you. It's like a ripple effect. Once you give it, it goes to wherever it will go to. It is not you who is going to create it anymore. You have done your part, the physical part, the spiritual part, the psychic part. Leave it to the ones that you know to take it to wherever they will take it to. That's how it is done. So, big sister Ifada, that is my answer to your question. But I think also that maybe the slave customs may have certain records. For 400, 500 years, you can imagine how it cannot be preserved. Because every day new things are changing. Sometimes fire is burning places. People are throwing things away because not everybody see the importance of this. Some of these records, they probably have thrown them away. But maybe there will be some remaining. I don't know. I've never asked before, but then maybe in Ghana museums and in the castles, we have so many castles. So there may be. Then that is where your essence, your destiny comes in. If your destiny, you are lucky, your destiny will be able to. You go somewhere and you see your family name or some name that is related to you there, then you know, oh, then my people were here. And then you can take it from there. So thank you very much, big sister Ifeanyi. And then somebody said, my brother, I wanted to know what is your main ancestor. My main ancestor is called Tongbe Geje. J. That's what I was saying, that we are called Geje View. We are the children of Tongbe Geje. That's the main ancestor that I was introduced to. So thank you very much, Jay Buki. And then we are having a big brother Martin Kobler again. In London, there is a museum called Museum of Mankind, where there are lots of voodoo from everywhere in Africa. In the past, I used to go there to talk and shout at them that they should allow themselves to be objects of entertainment, that they should work to free Africa. It is possible they heard me. Yes, you see, for Martin, the problem with this thing, I have that thing on me right now, coming from a religious university in Utrecht, and they brought the professor who wrote a lot of things on Ebe Voodoo. She's a German woman, Brigitte Meyer. She's a German woman, and she came down here and we had an interview concerning some voodoos that were taken from Abraham that are in Germany. And these voodoos were taken by the missionaries, the Bremen missionaries those days. And they took them, it was the priests who took them. They tried to convert the people, or they converted the people into Christianity. And they took their voodoos, just like this, my mirror. I have it, and I have been doing miracles or been doing so many things with it. So the Christians or the Bremen missionaries heard about me. They will come, and when I do things, or I am able to look inside deep and tell them stories that they did not believe that I could see, because I apparently would not have met them before. Then they know that this thing is working. So what they did was that they will convince me that, I should become a Christian, and then these are the opportunities that will open for me and my children in the future. And if I look at the opportunities, maybe at that time I probably was just a farmer, and I don't have enough food to eat, even though I possess the knowledge of the ancestors. My clothes are tattered, my children are sick. So the Christian missionaries will come and then convince you to give them your voodoo and come to church. So all these voodoos, they collected it from people who were very powerful, and then converted them into Christianity. Now they pack all the voodoos and keep them in Germany. So when the professor came, Brigitte Meyer came, we sat down with my student also, and that the student is Antonio, who is also a student at the Utrecht Religious University in Anthropology department. So Antonio and Brigitte came, and Brigitte has stayed in Ebe land for long. She speaks some Ebe. When she was young, she spoke more. Even now, she still speaks Ebe. She's a very beautiful, wonderful woman. She speaks Ebe, and she brought the photographs of all the voodoos, and the things were written in German, but the words of the voodoos or the names of the voodoos were written in Ebe. So they wanted to know if I have any idea about this. So we sat down and I just explained what kind of this voodoo, what it does and what it is. And then when they read the German text that was written, and it was exactly what I was saying in English. So then she realized that I know so much about this thing. So they are now making arrangement, if it is possible, that we can repatriate these voodoos. They are about 180 years old in Germany, but according to the information they were given, they were kept under climatic condition, whereby they are like in an air-conditioned place for all this, or cool place for all these years. But I was saying, okay, there are two things to do. Either I go to Germany and feed these voodoos that I haven't eaten for about 180 years, and also to test whether they are still effective, because every voodoo, it is the herbs that make the voodoo. And when the herbs are, become old and they lose their energy, the voodoo is no more powerful. So some of the voodoos may be there and they cannot do any work because the herbs that are put into it for over 100 years plus are weak or are even completely gone, and they have not been fed for a long time to replace or re-energize them with new heads. They may not have any power, they may have power. But the good thing about it is that the people didn't destroy them, they kept them for all these years because they believe or they knew that these things are energies here. There are energies, all of them are energies that are very effective energies. So that's why they kept them. So what we are saying is that yes, maybe in the museum you had been going and you had also been telling the voodoos that they should get freedom or let Africa be free. Yeah, but Africa cannot be free until we begin to tell the truth. Africa cannot be free until religion is no more. If there is no more religion, Africa can be free. But because the religion which came to Africa came from the West. And the West used the religion to control people, to control our psyche, to control the way we think, to control the way we behave. They want us to behave like them, but they don't want us to be like them. This is exactly what the religion brought to us. They wanted us to behave like them, believe in what they are telling us, but they don't want us to be like them. They don't want us to be on the equal standard with them, but they just give us something so that we can keep hanging on the leash all the time. This is the problem with Africa. So until Africa is get rid of religion and people begin to tell the truth to themselves, just like the question that I was answering first, that the question that Echo Stone had posted, until we begin to realize that there is no God in the skies, that we are the gods ourselves, and there are no devils in any way called hell, that we are our own devils, and we begin to look at our actions, every action that we take, positive or negative, and we take responsibility for our actions, and we stop blaming other people, Africa cannot move forward or be free. Because when the European countries loan money to Africa, do you know that the European countries come back to Africa and take this money back to Europe in the form of technocrats, advisors, and who are the people helping them? Our own people who go there or went to take this loan are the same people who will help these Europeans to find other ways to take the money so that they give them some little for themselves and their families, or they give them their loved ones. And the rest of us will suffer, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren will continue suffering to pay that very loan that this government or that government had taken. And they have repatriated it in a secretive way back to Europe. And we will pay for it forever. So when will Africa be free? So it is not the fault of the spirits or the voodoos, that's why Africa is not free. People always say, oh, if African voodoos were very powerful, why did they did not stop the white man from taking slaves? The white man did not meet any voodoo. He came to meet human beings, and the human beings were convinced that what they were having were bad things. So it is the human beings that they dealt with. And each voodoo belonged to a human being. Well, each voodoo belonged to a community and belonged to certain people. If the people decide that they want to do this, what will the voodoo do? What can the voodoo do? So people who ask such questions sometimes do not really think deep into it, that it is not the power of the voodoo that will stop bad things from happening to you. It is you who is controlling the voodoo. You will decide to stop things, and things will stop. You are the one, because when you buy a gun, even if it is a rocket or it's a nuclear bomb, whatever, it is human being who will press the button before it will execute itself. So if the human being is not honest and it's not straightforward and it's not upright in their way, there is no way that voodoo or bomb or a gun or anything can start on its own and start killing and destroying people. It doesn't happen that way. So our people are the cause. Religion that was brought to us, that has convinced us and made us look like poodles, is the cause. So until Africa is rid of religion and we begin to take responsibility, become accountable for our own actions, we are not going anywhere. You and I are going to continue remaining here in this situation. Thank you very much, Martin Kobler. And then we go to big sister Candy Fisher. Raise the distance from here. Candy Fisher is top fan. That's I say. Thank you very much for joining us. The whole of yesterday and this morning too, I was thinking about you, and I don't know what's going on there. That's what my thoughts were telling me, that I should think about you. I don't know why. Papa, is it advised to pray to your essay that is not set up? What is your negative essay is more powerful? That's what I was saying. How can you be praying to your essay which you have not set up? And how can you be praying to you don't even know whether your negative essay is more powerful than your positive essay? So how are you going to pray to it? It's not that easy as people think. Essay is not like any other voodoo that you have not even been initiated into the voodoo and then you are just praying to the voodoo. And even if it is like that, the voodoos that you are not initiated into, it is hardly they work for you. You must have had some association with the voodoo somehow before when you call on the voodoo can answer you or listen to your message. So when essay is not established for you, you will not know even how to pray to it because you don't know it. There was this lady who had asked a question sometime on the net, on our Facebook live, and then also we went on to discuss it later. She went to Benin and somebody set up a essay for her. But in setting up the essay, according to her explanation, I realized that that was the negative essay that they gave to her as essay. Instead of throwing the negative one away and setting up the proper essay, they gave her the negative one. Probably the people did not even know that they have to remove the negative one first before setting up the positive one. So they gave him the negative one and gave it called that's essay. She brought that back to America, and since that day she said she had everything going from bad to worse in her life. Everything was just going bad and bad and bad. She didn't even know what is going on. So when she consulted me, not through reading, but just ordinary talk, I realized that it was the negative essay that was given to her. So she asked me if she should throw it away. I said, no, I'm not the one who set it up for you. So I cannot tell you to throw it away because I don't know the people who set it up for you. The best thing you could do is to call back the people who set it up for you and tell them that you have also had another opinion, and it is said that the one that was given to her was a negative one. So when you don't have your negative essay control, and you are going to be praying to your essay, Candy Fisher, I don't think you are going to get anywhere. So people think that it is voodoo or spiritual work is just prayer. No. Spiritual work is not just prayer. It is rituals that add to prayer to get in power. So you don't just pour libation and think that is all that will do. That's why even when we are pouring libation for ancestors, from time to time you will see that the ancestors will ask you to feed them. Or ancestors will ask you to clothe them. Ancestors will ask you to do this. So when by doing that you are performing an action for the ancestors or towards the ancestors, which is a practical action, then the ancestors will stand on that practical ritual that you do to bless you and create opportunities for you. But just like what I said earlier, people say my ancestors coming. Who is your ancestor without mentioning their name? How can you call ancestors? They don't know you. They cannot just see you and know that you are this. But when you say, oh, I, Voncujovi, I'm praying to my ancestors, then they know that, oh, there is this Voncujovi that is our grandchild, great-grandchild, is the one calling us. And then you must also call the name of the ancestor you are praying to. So he can now relate, you and he can relate. So whatever messages you are saying or you are giving out, and the things that you are doing will now empower them, then they will in turn empower you to be here and be successful in whatever you are doing. So ancestors are not just something in the air or they are in the ground and you just pondering without mentioning who you are calling. So Kadi, I don't think people can just pray to their essay without without having any association with their essay, whether the negative one or positive one. Even though positive and negative effect is around everybody who is born, but you must find a practical way of associating with them in order to work them. Yes. So we have a big sister. I hope Kadi Fisher, my answer makes some give some peace. Or I don't know how to say it, but maybe give some reasons or make some logical understanding that I say. Yes, as it is, you cannot just keep to pray to it like somebody who doesn't have a kind or has never had any association with a kind, and then you are in your this is so I pray to a kind. How does a kind know you? You have not had any practical thing. It's just like you go to India, and then there's a India vodu called Bajambali. Then you say, oh, Bajambali, come and drink. Well, why does Bajambali knows you from? The same thing like in Christianity. You don't have any relationship with Abraham. Then you come and say, oh, you die, you go and sleep in the bosom of Abraham. Which Abraham's bosom? For where? How? What relationship do you have with Abraham? Which blood relationship do you have with Abraham of the Israel? Whereby you would die African and then go and sleep in Abraham's bosom. And taking it further, do you think that if there was a hell that people would go to after death, or there is a heaven that people will go to after death, do you think that the atrocities that the white man has committed against the black man, if there were to be a hell that they will pay for the action that they have committed, do you think the white man would have committed that actions? Putting black people on fire, dropping children as baits for crocodiles, whipping people, leaving people hanging them, killing them, giving dogs to tear up a living human being. You think that if there was a hell to go, the white man will commit those crimes? No, don't deceive yourself and don't fool yourself. Come back to your ancestral roots and begin to learn and begin to understand that you have no connection with the European whatsoever. If there is any connection with the European, then there is a point where your ancestors are mixed. Then that is fine. But without that, being a Koro black man like me, you have no roots in any Europe, anywhere. And you are telling yourself that when you die, the God of Europeans will welcome you, that come back home. If the God of the Europeans will welcome you, why did they let their children beat you up and kill you? Why did they enslave us? Why did they colonize us and treated us in such inhumane way? If there is a heaven to go and there is a hell to go, and if there is a European God, he's going to welcome you. So what was he doing before letting people treat you that way, or his children treat you that way? So be real. I mean, my teachings are very controversial, and I'll say, because I'm just hitting on the facts and the reality that I am seeing. When I sit down and think about things, I think that this is not real, because it cannot be real. Because if there was a heaven to go, and all the people you see in heaven so far painted were all white people, when you tell yourself that you are dying, you are going to heaven, who are you going to? Are you going to be there and become a cleaner or a painter or a cook? Or what are you going there to do? Think seriously. Don't let this deceit continue. Change it. Let your children understand that there is nothing like that. That they are themselves, and they should look for the good things for themselves, and they should struggle to uplift themselves from the situation in which they are by believing in themselves. They should stop believing in an unimaginable deity with a long beard and gray hair, blue eyes, that they tell you that he's the one going to judge you. And that's the mistake of Africa. That's where we are, and that's where we are. Sometimes it's very painful when you think about it, that our people, even in today's 21st century, will dress up early morning on Sunday, wear their best clothes, and go and sit down in some shackle, some kind of listen and say they are listening to God's message. Which God? Which God? They left all that, their DNA line and everything, then they are thinking now that they will go to, when they die, they are going to go to Abraham. Abraham! Go to Israel and see how many bombs are falling down every day. You are telling yourself that you are going to Abraham, the New Jerusalem. Look, let's think serious. Yes, so that's it. And Big Sister Ifadara will say, thanks, Papa. Thank you very much. I hope I have made some sense in explaining about your question. And then we have Lorenzo Mersin sending love to us. Thank you very much. Me like me. And then we have Mauli Gode. Papa, I'm from Hohwe, but I don't know how to connect to say. You cannot connect to say until you come to learn what a say is. It's not something that you can connect to in the air. It is a process. It's a whole teaching on its own. People who wanted it are the ones who are approaching people who know how to do say. A say is not like the Hohwe thing, whereby you go to Hohwe because you are from Hohwe, then you know about a say. No. I tell you, majority of people in Hohwe always know about a say, but they don't have any say. They don't even have any knowledge about negative or positive. They only know about a say in stories. They only know about a say in the songs that we sing, where a say has, because of say, you are not successful. They only know the songs or some songs. None of them have even gone to the extent of finding out what exactly is a human say, job say. What is it? No, people are just deceiving themselves. They don't even know anything. So, Gode, I tell you, the whole thing is you need to learn. You have to find out people who know about say. There is one gentleman and a very matured man in Hohwe called Kwame V. Ajoge Tepe. Kwame V. Ajoge Tepe at Abansi in Hohwe. I think when you approach him about a say or job say, he should be able to give you some insight into say. Go to him. He just finished his 99 years. He's going into his 100 years, but he's still looking very young and strong. We visited him recently when we went to Hohwe. It's a very old Bokor and very, very mature and has been around. I think he's been doing Bokor work for almost 70 years now, plus. And he's a very, very simple man. Approach him. So when you go there, go there in simplicity and ask him questions. When he is free, I believe he will be able to tell you what essay is. And maybe if you ask him to do your essay or remove the negative one for you, he may be able to do it. I don't know because I've never discussed that with him. So I cannot tell. But you go to him and find it. And then we have Shamba Musa up there. Okay, no. Go to Nanako Sachi first. Yeah, okay, we are going to Nanako Sachi. Thank you very much, Toby, in Nanako Sachi. Thank you for joining us. Greetings, Toby, from Kintampo. How are you? How is Kintampo? My greetings to the whole family, my regards to all. Peace and blessing to you and your family. Here we are praying hard for your success. Thank you, Nanako Sachi. I'm very grateful. I am also praying for your success. Every day I pray and I wish you all the best. May the ancestors, may the bosom and the home, all that you are with, and may they open new doors for you, and may they open more understanding to you of our culture and the people, and may you find favor in the eyes of the gods. Thank you very much, Nana Kokosachi. And regards to whole family, all and your teachers. And then we have Shamba Musa Mohammed. Papa, I have just gotten some new perfume. Can I add the powder from Zibizaba to it? Yes, if you think that the perfume is very powerful, you can add the Zibizaba powder to it, and then you can. I thought you got your Zibizaba perfume. Did Shema get a Zibizaba perfume? Mm-hmm. Oh, a perfume in it. Or it was just it was just the black powder. So add the black powder to the Zibizaba and invoke it, give it drink, invoke it, and see if you feel the energy. And once you start feeling the energy, means the spirit is dwelling in you. So thank you. And then we have Nancy Alice Powell, Grand Rising from Memphis, Tennessee, USA. Thank you very much, Nancy. We are very grateful for you joining us this afternoon. My regards to you, and may the gods of your land and your fathers continue guiding you all. And then I have Kwabina Selike Katachi. Hello, Tommy. Good morning from USA. Thank you very much, Kwabina Selike. It's been a very long time. Hope you are doing well. Great. I remember you very well. So I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And then I have Faustina Ahaji. Greetings, Papa. You are teaching us a lot, and I'm really glad I listened to you. Thanks for opening our minds. Thank you very much, Faustina, for joining the section. I'm very grateful. It is my destiny to be a teacher. That's why I'm teaching. And I hope my teachings will make some change in your life. Thank you very much for joining the section, Faustina. Then we have a big Sister Ifadara again. I'm forever grateful to my ancestors. It is the egg that gave me precious life. Many sacrifices they made for my life. Yes, for sure. For all of us, our ancestors made a lot of sacrifices for us. And it is not our place to let them down for the sacrifices that they did, the sufferings that they suffered, the atrocities that they have endured and went through. It is not our place today to be saying that we will die and go to Israel. To do what? And even I'm very sorry that sometimes I hear that some black people are telling themselves that they are Israel, they are Israelites, they are black Israelites. Hey, I mean, what is wrong with the black man? Why can't you be very proud of your blackness and your African roots? That you have to try to prove that you are Israelite. From where? The type of black people who were living in the Middle East, in the Arab land, were the Palestinian type of black people. As far as my knowledge is concerned, it was not the African kinky hair type of black people. So how come Africans, black people for that matter, would call themselves that they are black Israelites? They came from Israel. Which part of Israel do you come from? Stop deceiving yourselves. You are African. Try to be proud of your African identity, your black identity, than trying to link it on. They are coming down and going down. So call somebody to feed the birds. Because they have seen flying up and down, and people are like. So we are black people. So we should forget calling ourselves Israelites or any other people. We are black people. So some people want to say Jesus Christ was a black person. It's up to them. But if Jesus Christ was a black person, so were the Palestinians black people when Jesus was born? I don't know why people just want to bring themselves down just because if you are whiter or your hair is straight, that makes you be accepted than when your hair is not straight. Anyway, thank you very much, Big Sister Ifadara. We are going now to Big Sister Angie G. Fisher. Blessings, Papa and family from Jackson, Mississippi. Hello, Angie. But why Jackson, Mississippi now? What happened? You were okay. Anyway, thank you very much, Angie, and maybe you are celebrating the birthday of your daughter. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I'm very grateful. My blessings to you too. May the ancestors continue granting you your heart's desire, and also may your essay open doors for you and continue guiding you. Okay, then we have on YouTube, we have Mario Young, Daddy, the gentleman who spoke to you last Sunday on a conference call with you, will bring his son to your shrine by Wednesday. I was calling to update you. Okay, thank you, Mario. Yes, I was even telling people that the people in India have to refer even our Ghanaian Africans here to this shrine before they know that there is a shrine. And not only my shrine has been empty, but the shrines that their ancestors have all around everywhere. Because in every family in Ghana, or in Africa, we have our own ancestral roots and our shrines. Why should people who are closer to these things cannot assess it? That they have to be referred from far away before they think that something is happening in their life. But anyway, thank you very much, Mario. I'm very grateful, and may the ancestors continue blessing you. Then we have our greetings, Papa. The Ewe and Form people, the same people, if you go back far enough in history. We always say that the Ewe language and the Form language, or the Ewe people and the Form people are the same people. Because voodoo is everywhere, it's Formware. There is no other tribe in Africa who uses the word voodoo for spirit. They have their own names. Even for people who are bordering Nigeria or the Yoruba people, the Yorubas don't call spirit voodoo. They call it Orisha or something, or Awo. So the Ewes and the Forms are the only people who call spirit voodoo. And our language is the same. The four people speak through the nasal, they pronounce things in their nose or nasal sound alongside whatever, in how they, like we in the we say voodoo, and the four people will say voodoo. It's the same thing. So the four and the Ewes are cousins, or they are the same people. So there is no difference between the four and because we do the same thing. Our way of our food, our drinking, our association, our way of looking at God, and everything is the same. So the four and the Ewe are the same people, but just they have a little bit slight difference. I don't know how to compare them. It's like in a country, you take in Ghana, for instance, you take the Fantis and the Ashantis. The Fantis and the Ashantis speak almost the same Akan language, but there are some slight differences in pronunciation. And that's all that it is with the form and the Ewe, as far as my knowledge is concerned. And then we go to Nuku Amigo. Hello, Nuku, thank you very much. I'm very grateful. And I think yesterday's rituals that we did should work for you for sure. And I also hope you have enjoyed your time with us at the shrine. I'm very grateful to you, and may your ancestors hear your prayer, and may they change and bring good things into your life. Thank you very much, Nuku. Nuku Amebo, what is the day name and what is the significance of the day name? You know, originally the image and the four people do not have these Akanche names like Judah, brother. You see, we have other names. I am not able to tell you all this because according to the old men or old men, the Ewes don't used to call their Monday-born children like Kojo. No. The Ewes have names like Agwe, which means the first girl of a man, the first daughter of a man is called Agwe. and then the first male child is called Foli. Then we have other names and all kind of other names. And then when the association with the Akans, or when the Aves move to this part of the world that we are today, we have interaction with the Akans. So the Akan names slowly cropped into Ave names. That's why we have the days of the week, which is 7 days. You know, the Ave calendar is totally different from the normal Gregorian calendar. In the Ave calendar, we have 13 months. We don't have 12 months. We have 13 months in our Ave calendar. But now people are trying to draw it to make it into the 12 months so that it becomes normal. No. We have 13 good months. So the Ave week is 28 days. A week in Ave is 28 days. It's not 30 or 31 days. So every month ends on 28 days. That's why we say Jinu, which means the moon. Jinu. So when one 28-day cycle has passed, it's called 1 month or 1 Jinu. So that's how the Aves calculate. So we have our own calendar, we have our own thing. So the days of the week, the significance of the days of the week as today, some are also derived from the Akan. Because the Akans have good days, they have bad days. And some people who know about this, they also associate with it and be able to, because you know the Akans have a day called Aquasida and all this. We have Fofi, we have all kind of things. So our people also have that. But the Aves have their original line. I don't have them all. I don't know them all because I still need to learn more about my Ave identity and the knowledge. What I know is what I'm teaching, but there is more than what I am teaching here. But I'm learning day in, day out. So the days are significant according to what we were taught, and I think especially as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, according to the account days. Yeah. God, we call Wednesday Kuda. And what is a Ku? A Ku, it means death. So in Ave, the Kuda, that is not Ave. Okay, I don't know, maybe everyone too, but then it may be a Kanway as well. So I'm not very deep into that because I'm not taking that part seriously yet. But as you ask about it, I'll begin to inquire and then learn more on that so that next time when that question comes, I'll be able to tell you. Then we have King Tao Mara Black Horse. Hi teacher, hi King Tao, how are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And then we have Ian Campbell. Do some people reincarnate to suffer for their say, please, when you are writing the English, you should write it completely, because when you want to ask for their, it's with THEIR. Macedon, but I want them to, because their wrongs, not theirs, their wrongs. It's not their wrongs. So, Ian Campbell. There is different from there. A lot of people have been writing this on social media. Instead of writing there, they say there. Then it is confusion. There is totally different from there. So I can understand the question you are asking. Do some people reincarnated to suffer for their wrongs that they did in the past? In their, as he said there again, in their past life? If it is so, can you change the bad destiny of that person? Yes, Ian, a lot of people come into this world to suffer for their action or their past action. But then, before they reincarnate to this world, they have also said certain things before coming into this world. That's why we say, before you come, your destiny has already decided what you are coming here to do. at Sepe, or where Ese resides, as people in every culture call where Ese stays when it is not in the physical world. At Sepe, you will be fine. So when you come here and you are suffering or you are having problem, and it is through a reading or through observance that your destiny is what is worrying you, the priest or the Bokor or the Huno or the Togbe that knows about these things knows how to go back into the Esepe with the rituals and be able to correct whatever what you have spoken about before coming in here. We'll be able to do rituals that will affect that place, so that it will affect the psychic plane, and when and it brings changes on your physical plane as well. So in every culture, there are rituals that can correct what you have done or whatever your essay has brought you here to suffer or to do. There are ways to correct it. So the bad destiny is not actually changed. The bad destiny is aligned. So when you do things, the kind of heat you should get, it will come, but it will come in a slower form. It's like you wanted to beat a child. If you whip the child very hard, the child will feel the pain seriously. It will also feel the fear. But when you beat the child who has wronged you in a different way, slowly, the child will have the fear, but there will be no pain. So this is what happens when they are doing the essay alignment or the negative essay. When we say we remove we didn't say we are changing the bad destiny. We are just realigning it with the positive so that they can go hand in hand. But then the local word is the change Midoli Seninam, so they should change that. That's an English word we can add to it, but it is to align the essay, the negative and the positive in such a way that they can work in your favor. Then young family, can someone know which ancestor they are reincarnated into? No, you cannot know the ancestor into which you are reincarnated into. But if some elders are alive before you were born, they probably can suspect and think that, oh, this person is behaving like that person who had lived before, and they will assume that it is that same person who has come back to this. So you cannot easily know who you have reincarnated into. That one I have not come across it yet. It's only from observation that someone can suggest or suspect that this person might have been the other person who had left. That's all it is. But then you know there is something also in the Yoruba we call Obanje, which the Eves call Jikwi. What does that mean in English? A child that they born and then it will die. The parents will bury her. The mother gets pregnant again, and then she gives birth to another baby. And then this baby will not live long, will die again. And then the parents will have sorrow and cry over the death, and they will give birth to another one, and they will die again. In Ebe, we call it a Jikwi. Jikwi means you give birth, it dies. You give birth, it dies. That is the one the Yorubas call Obanje in Yoruba language. In some of the Yoruba dialects, maybe other Yoruba dialects have other names for it. That Obanje or Jikwi, what our ancestors do with rituals is that when they are going, there are certain rituals they will perform when they are going to bury that child, because they take it for instance, or they take it that child is only coming to worry the parents, either because of their the parents' karma, the child is coming to worry them, or the child as an ancestor is just decide to worry these parents. So what our people do is that when they are going to bury that child, they mark it. The mark is not just ordinary marking, it's through rituals they will mark that child and tell the child, don't come again. So when the mother or the same mother give birth to a child again, and that mark that they mark that child before burying it is on that baby, they know that it is that same baby that is coming back. So what they do now, then they do the necessary ritual so that the child cannot go back again. Sometimes they give names that were like, oh, we don't mind you. You are no more human. You are not a real human being. So they'll call you names like shoe. They call names like toilet. They'll call you names like garbage. That's the name of the child. It's called garbage. And people wouldn't understand. How can you call a child a garbage? You don't understand. The Ebe and the four people are very deep into spirituality, and if I can say that they can see into God, and they are very, very, very close to God in their rituals. And they can decide when you talk about nature, they know nature very well and how to handle nature. So that child who is dying, they'll mark it. With either they mark the face, or they mark the back, or they mark some part of the dead body. They bury the child. And when a new child is born, and that same mark is on the child, they know it's him. They will catch that child now, and they will find ways to control that child that it doesn't live again. So that's why you see certain kind of children, they give them certain kind of names. And some of them, they leave their hair untouched. So they become natural Rastafarians. Or but then in our language, we have a name for Rasta called Taplai. That is the Ebe name for Rasta before Haile Selassie was even born. We have Taplai. So Rastafari, which is a Rastafarian today, or Haile Selassie, it is also maybe one kind of those spiritual children. That's why no razor touch his hair. And a lot of people in the world today follow that tradition. And now people, I'm hearing that it is even called a religion. I never knew Rasta, this is a religion. I can accept that they came through some spiritual means, but not that it's a religion. Okay? So, Ian Campbell, so you will not know and know whether you have reincarnated, but our ancestors have a way to do certain things, and through observation may have an idea what a new child may be, who that child may be, but you cannot directly. Then Ian Campbell, could you explain some of the rituals that the area will perform when getting married and the reason for these rituals? But there are so many rituals when people are getting married. The area I come from, they will get a mat and a stool. Coffee. Sidiki, please give me this. And then, yeah, this one. Yeah. And there's a small mat. Give me the small mat too. The yellow one here. Okay, I have these two items here. So this is a direct demonstration. During every rituals of marriage, after the parents are seen, usually the first thing is what they call it knocking or kokoko. The parents will go, the parents of the man will go to the parents of the woman. But even before the parents of the man will go to the parents of the woman, they don't go directly themselves. They will send someone who is their family member to go and do a background check on that family and also on the particular lady they have seen and wanted their son to marry. When they go first, the persons who will go there first will bring in a small pot of palm wine. There's a very small pot of palm wine for maybe about one or two people's drink. So they go and see the parents and they say, oh, we are interested in your daughter. They will come back and tell the information they gather from the girl's family and also from the community, what type of girl the lady is and what kind of background. Is there craziness, madness? Were the ancestors were thieves? Were they murderers? Were they sorcerers who were killing people? All those information will be gathered. And when those information is gathered and the boy's parents are satisfied that their son is going to get married to a woman who will bring good children into their family and replace them when they are not there, then they go and arrange for some time that the man will be going to the farm of the in-laws, go and be working for the in-laws, getting to know the girl. And that time there is no courtship, real courtship between the girl and the boy. They know that they are going to marry one day. So the boy will go and be serving this for maybe Saturdays or sometime and go and do some work. So the parents of the girl also wants to know whether the boy that their daughter is going to marry is a very hard-working person whereby they can take care of their daughter as well as take care of their grandchildren. So those things will continue for some time. The girl also will be invited to come to the in-laws to be their house, to help the mother-in-law in cooking and doing all this. So the mother-in-law will probably teach her the kind of food that she trained her son with, and also know what kind of food she knows how to cook. All these things will be happening for some time. Then eventually the day of marriage will come, and then elders will sit down from both sides. Prayers will be made. Ancestors from both sides will be called upon to bless and become part of this relationship or association. Drinks will be poured and all this. And then when everything is done, they are going to put the man and the woman on a mat. Because in the olden days, there is not this modern beds and all this, so it is mat that everybody uses. That's why when people die too, they sleep on, they put the mat around them to bury them in the olden days. So they're going to place the man and the woman on the mat, because after all, it is the mat they are going to use and going to sleep on and before creating new human beings. The lady will be given a stool, and they will hold her buttocks to sit down 1, 2, 3 times, or maybe 7 times. That today we have given you a seat to sit down in this family and be a faithful person to this family. And when those things are done, then the merry-making goes on. There are so many other things that are done as background spiritual things to unite the two. So when a woman is married and has not been given a seat, so she is hanging in the air, marriage will not last. Because she has no seat. She can just decide today and move to another person to listen. So there is a word in Ebe called hotedi. Hotedi. A lot of people mistakenly call hoteli. Hoteli means a prostitute or a woman who cannot stay with one man. It's called hotelito. Hotelito. What is a te in Ebe? It is the grinding, the one that they use in grinding corn in the olden days.